Good morning, my Teaserking family. Still with this cold. Um, I thought I was getting better. I went to the pool and hot tubbed yesterday, and I was feeling pretty good. But when I go to sleep, it kind of, I feel like I'm breathing in water and I'm hacking a lot. So that's what concerns me is the hack. So I think I might go to the doctor. I really don't want to get antibiotics because they're terrible for you, but not sure. Um, Otherwise, it takes a while to get rid of this. I think it's a sinus infection, but I'm not sure, and we'll see. So I might go to the doctor, but I don't want to keep hacking and hacking. It's just not, I know it'll go away eventually. And when I watch my doctors, it's the same. Well, don't eat healthy, don't eat dairy, which I don't. I just have a little bit of milk in my eggs, and that's it. So I don't know. I took a walk. I was able to take a walk. I have energy. The other day I was really tired, and therefore I couldn't do anything. But I'm not that tired now. Anyway. So let's quickly talk gold and silver. So what the fuck happened? We're going around, and then 10 o'clock happens. And look at this bullshit. It was 3,900, roughly 3898 or something, going to 3,900 on its way to 4. What the fuck is this? So then it goes down to 3831. Now it's starting to move back. It should move back to 3,900. I don't understand this option where they're going to have to cover it, which how can they cover it? Why is it so caught off guard that there wasn't buying in at 3860 or 3880? Now Egon calls this like a roller coaster, like it's very volatile. This bullshit. This isn't volatile. Nobody's selling anything here. This is bullshit options. When you get to a physical market, you won't have bullshit options. You won't have this drop. So Egon, this is only there because this is options. This is paper. And Mr. Cadillac, same thing. What do you think? This is real. This is the real price of gold. Bullshit. This is paper playing options. Here's silver, 46.16. Well, you know what silver was at? Silver was at 48. Look at this shit, 48.08, just before 10 o'clock. Oh, and it's the same drop at 10 o'clock. And this went from 48 to 46. This goes down $2. Now, normally $2 isn't a big deal in gold, but in silver, since you're counting by cents instead of dollars, which I don't know why, this is bullshit. So it goes from 48 down to 46. And then it starts coming back 46.14. It'll get back to 48 to 50 to 100. But what is this meaning of this bullshit? This is why people are scared of gold and silver, because they see this action and they think it's real. This is pure bullshit. This is not real at all. This is not anybody selling. This is just the fucking options. So if you don't understand it's an option paper market and you think this is real, I don't want to own gold. Look at silver. It was 48. Now it's 46. I don't want to own it. Well, if you're that naive, then you shouldn't. But if you know what's going on, this is just an option trick. JP Morgan bullshitting. I don't know what they're doing. They have to cover the stand on delivery. and this is very temporary. So by what's today, Thursday, by 3, 4 o'clock, it'll be back to this will be back towards 39, 38, 70, 38, 80. And it's, tomorrow it'll be over 39. So I don't really know what they're doing. It's bullshit. It's more fixed than the football games. And the same thing with silver. It got to 48. Well, we got to keep it under 50, because once people realize 50, your magic number was 35. Now it's 40, and now we're going into the 48s. So are we going to get a lot of resistance at 50 because you're afraid that people won't buy stocks? Believe me, most people in the US are so stupid they couldn't put two and two together anyway about that gold and silver, are real, and that this is paper and bullshit. Our friend Cadillac is one of those who just doesn't get it. No offense, Cadillac, but you don't get it. You're talking paper, and you think that's the real price of gold. I guarantee you 38.36 is nowhere near the real price of gold, and 46.22 is nowhere near the real price of silver. So I just want to point this out. This is pure bullshit, right? This is why I'm telling you the real price of silver is about $1,000. Because why did it drop? Nobody has silver. Nobody's selling silver. You can't. Who's selling it at 46.26? And this has nothing to do with buying and selling. This is only option related. So if JP Morgan wants to dump a bunch of shorts because they want to lose another $1 trillion, because they're all a bunch of fucking morons that don't understand anything, the most heavily demanded thing, and they're shorting it. Yeah, I'd like to meet their guys. What a bunch of fucking idiots they are. So this is the problem. I see silver's already jumping to 46.29. It was 46. So it was 48 to 46. And now here it comes back to 47, 48. And then gold 38, 30. Well, gold it hit 39 this morning. So it's funny, just before 10, it hits 39, it hits 48, and then boom, they really knock it down with the bullshit options. But see, here's China and Russia going, great. But the problem is, even if they go to buy it, there isn't any left. So how much longer this COMEX can last is beyond me, because there isn't any gold and silver to cover these people who, when they buy this option at 36.38, they want to take delivery of the gold, which isn't existing. So I don't know how much longer this game can be played. So Mark McGuire keeps saying, well, they're profit, they're price taking now. They're not price setting. Well, they just set the price here, didn't they? So we'll see what happens. But this is absolutely bullshit. This whole thing's bullshit. It's so much cheaper than the real physical price. Again, the real physical price is up here, 20,000. And then here's this bullshit COMEX price. Now, it's funny, is everything else in the bubble, the house and the value, and the car and the value, and the stocks and the values are way up here. They're way out of it. Those are all the bubbles. But gold is reversed. Gold's demand is up here and the price is there. That's why it's not in a bubble. So just keep buying it. This is such bullshit. You can see where it's going. I mean, we got 39 this morning, so it'll be back. They can't, but it's just, you've got to pay these people when they take delivery. You must give them delivery. So I don't know what the fuck they're doing. Anyway, just really ridiculous. All right. Teaserking has posted his games. Everything's posted. You're welcome. Thank you, Titus. All right. So all the games are posted. I did come up with two really good locks, a college lock and a pro lock, real strong. Normal amount of games, pro and college. You just find them and you bet them. And, we've been a little bit unlucky. The Kansas game this week. We did hit the Baylor game. DeAndre Martin, welcome to the class. Should I just buy physical gold every paycheck regardless of price? Absolutely. If you can afford it and a little bit of silver, because it's way undervalued. If you can afford it, the price of physical gold is figured at least 10,000 to 20,000 an ounce, and you're able to get it for 3,800. Why is it 3,800? Because they're fucking playing games in this comex option world, but the rest of the world, all the BRICS countries, Russia, China, India, Saudi Arabia, are playing with physical gold and a gold-backed currency. So you want to be in physical, and you're seeing it priced ridiculous. How can it go from 3,900 to 3,800 in 20 minutes on comex? How can that be? Because if it was real, then that means a bunch of people are selling. And guess what? There's a bunch of buyers waiting. So that's what I did. I emptied my stocks in my bank account and bought physical gold and silver. And every time gold goes up from 3,600 to 3,700, I make 10 grand. 37 to 38, I make another 10 grand. 38 to 39, I almost made another 10 grand. And the same thing in silver. Every time it goes up $1, would I make 7 grand? I don't know. Silver, I always have a harder time figuring. But yeah, I mean, you can't lose. It's the surest bet you can make. I don't even want to play poker anymore. I just assume just buy silver for the $300 I played poker. I could lose. For the $300 I buy silver with, I can't lose. And again, I've been buying it in the 20s. Now it should be 48. I'm a little pissed. Hey, Titus. Well, it's good to have you again, Titus. Yeah. Well, whatever. Houston College, I'm not crazy about. Where is Houston College? Oh, well, it helps if I looked at the right week. I was looking at last week's. Houston gets Texas Tech. Yeah, it could be an under. Texas Tech, I mean, they held Utah to nothing. Houston's defense should hold Texas Tech. Now, that could be, but, I like the other one that I gave you. But, yeah, like Cincinnati, Joe Burrow played. Well, he's out. You can't go over with him. And they play Detroit. But, yeah, it's very strong this week. Again, people say, well, I played you for a week and I didn't win. And I'm like, you missed the whole point of gambling. You can't play me for 1 week and judge me. You have to play me for the year, and then you can judge me, because I'll win in total for the whole year. I always win because I figure it out, and I'm not kept to, I got to bet Michigan and Michigan State and Notre Dame, and if they lose, I still bet them. Da, 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 da. No. This year, I'm more on Washington and teams like that. USC's better this year. I'm off UCLA. So you find your bitch each year, right? So this year it's USC, Washington. Last year, I had nothing to do with USC or Washington. And so as it's mostly the quarterback, you're hunting quarterbacks, and as you find them, that's who you bet on. And is that our free pick? I don't know what our free pick is. Did I give a free? My free pick in college is Iowa State. We're betting Rocco back against Cincinnati. Got lucky to beat Kansas. And Iowa State's a dog. So Iowa State's your free pick there. Your free pick in the pros is Buffalo. We're betting Josh Allen. Now I added 2 locks. I had a lock in pro and a lock in college. And I really love both locks. They're very creative. I studied pretty good this week. I'm not going to get caught with Houston laying 7 and they can't beat Oregon State. That one really pissed me off. But here, these are very strong, solid locks that should come home to roost. Anyway, so that's what's happening. TK, you doing any playoff baseball? Take Cleveland today. I told you to take Cleveland yesterday for the series. Cleveland will win because Detroit's a choke. Thanks for going over those games. Yeah, you're welcome, Titus. No problem. Hey, Todd, how are you? Yeah, I'm still a little bit struggling. I get this hacking cough and it sticks around for a while. I've been debating about going to the doctor. I went and did a fast yesterday and I felt better, but then as I'm sleeping and I wake up, I'm still hacking. So, and it's like it hurts when I hack, it hurts my body. It's like so painful. I just went for a walk and had a nice sweat. And I feel a little bit better. I'm not hacking as much, but I still feel sick. But thank you, Todd. I like Virginia and Vandy. Haven't lost with them yet. Well, you got to love Daggio. And, again, we go back to the quarterbacks. Their quarterback's great from North Texas. So, yeah, they just beat Florida State. Now, do we think they're going to be flat, being a 7-point dog to Louisville? I'll take Virginia's quarterback over Louisville's all day. Now, you just beat Florida State on a Friday night. You're at Louisville, who, is okay. They're not great. And then Daggio, I think Daggio is going to beat Alabama. I don't even, I don't see Alabama winning the game 42-0. And it's a 10-point line. So you get 16 and Daggio is a joke. I mean, I don't see Alabama. They didn't blow out Georgia. The quarterback's okay. I'd rather have Daggio Pava over the Alabama quarterback. First of all, he's a freshman or a sophomore who's never played before. All right, they had a big game with Georgia. You don't think they're going to be flat? But anyway, on that, it's going to be flat. It's going to be Alabama beating Georgia. And Georgia's quarterback's nowhere near Daggio Pavia. And he beat them last year, so they're not scared of Alabama. And they're liable to put a 50 up on them. They've been putting up 50s on everybody. So I agree with you. Virginia, very, very good. And you got Virginia very good and Vandy very good. Let me see. I'm just like. Yeah, but I agree there. It's such a big number. I don't really understand. So everybody's going to the revenge game as a factor. And I think that's overplayed here. Right. I'm not buying Alabama's going to try to revenge losing to Vandy. It's not like Bear Bryant's the coach and they're the number one team and all this shit. Alabama's an average team now. DeBoer doesn't show me a great defense. He shows me a decent offense, but I think Vandy's offense is better. Pavia is the top quarterback, so you give me 16 and a half with him. It just that line is so bad it makes zero sense. So I agree. I think I would take it to the well and just keep filling up the water bucket. I mean, what a that's the quarterbacks you want to play. You just keep pounding them. And I don't buy Vandy's not going to be flat. They didn't play anybody last week. Virginia, they just showed you how good they are by beating Florida State. I don't think you're going to be flat going to Louisville after beating Florida State. Not with that quarterback. See, if you got a good quarterback, very rarely are you going to be, out of any game. So I agree. I think Vandy. I think Vandy wins the game straight out. You money line players, there's a money line for you, but you get so fucked on the money line. It'll be Alabama minus 500, but you only get 200 with Vanderbilt. Like, well, why don't I get 500? This is why I'm warning you about the money line bets because the odds are not true. Isn't Bama's rush defense not great? I don't think their defense is all that great. I mean, Georgia. Okay, enough with this fourth down bullshit. Why is Georgia on 4th and 1 or whatever at the 10 not kicking the field goal and tying the game? I don't understand it. It makes zero sense. There's 8 minutes left. If you don't make it, you lose the game. Why would you take that risk? This is what I don't understand from these coaches. If you don't make it, you've got to think in case I don't make it. I do it all the time. I'm betting this game, but if it doesn't win, I come to plan B. You always have to have a plan B, so I don't get it. I mean, it's the same thing. That's what gold and silver are. They're plan Bs. We see the stock market's high, and we see Bitcoin's high, but it's not going to stay that high. Again, it's price fixed. It's worth this, but it's up here. How can Bitcoin be worth 100,000 when it has no value? It's not backed by anything. It's not real. Show me what it looks like. You can't. The best you can do is show me that gold Bitcoin coin that isn't a Bitcoin. It's an ounce of gold. Why are they using that? But that's not what it looks like. How can something that isn't real be worth 100,000? Okay, so plan B, which is what I tell everybody: get out of the stock market, get out of Bitcoin, and go into gold and silver. That's your plan B. But people are too stupid to understand that, so they don't. They stay in their stocks. I can't get rid of it. They stay in their stocks. They stay in the Bitcoin. I mean, I've had people say it's going to keep going up, Bitcoin. They don't even know it's not real. Oh, it's going to keep going up. Do you understand the only one buying it is Donald Trump's family and Michael Saylor. They're the only two buying it. And they're in heavy debt to keep buying it. And he keeps promoting it. It's going to go up. It's going to go up. Don't sell it. What do they say? Don't sell it. The only time I do that is with gold and silver because of brick. I can answer why, because of BRICS. BRICS has high demand on gold and silver because they're going on a gold-backed currency, so they need more gold. And as more countries go into BRICS, they buy gold. And then so here comes new countries. They got to buy gold if they want to trade. So the demand for gold is there, hence why we don't sell it. And we don't want to get back into dollars. But yet, what's the answer in Bitcoin? Does anybody say, oh, it's going to go up? Why? Well, because it is. It's going to be money. It's never going to be money. It's not real. Oh, it's digital money. What does that mean? There's no such thing. Money's money. You have to have it. This is money, right? This is money. This is what it is. You can't fuck around with it. Anyway, that's the thing. So yeah, you just shake your head uh at this whole thing, and then and notice how they try to price fix gold with this big hit. Silver 48 down to 46 at 10 o'clock. I mean, and it's the same thing for gold. It's the same gold and silver, 10 o'clock tanked. What kind of crap is that? All that does is it allows bricks to buy it, right? Because people use that price to set the physical price. So if I went to my guy's store right now, he's selling gold, silver at 46 instead of 48. Thank you. That's what it's used for, is to set the price, but the price is not, that's a paper price. I'm buying physical. Thank you very much. Like I say, I always do a song and a dance when I leave. I'm so happy to get it at such a cheap price. And you can see it's been going up and up and up, and it'll keep going up and up and up. I think Comex finally is about to blow up because they don't have the physical anymore. And once we get a true Shanghai, Russia, Hong Kong, Dubai price, Dubai's apparently in trouble, going bankrupt also. Well, what do they have? Oh, yeah, they have gold. So it behooves everybody who is in trouble, China and Russia and half these countries, they have the gold to get a higher gold price. So we have the demand behind us. Anyway, yeah, Bama, they're not a great defense. What's their defense? It's a 17 defense, but again, they played Lou Monroe and stuff. So they got pounded by Florida State, and they should not have beaten Georgia. But this line is a joke, 10.5. My line's 7, but really my line would have been Vandy -7. And again, my line was just to kind of meet where the spread is. But I don't buy that Alabama's any better. All right, so let's go through college football. Again, I have one lock posted. I have about 5 other games posted. And all I can say is you just go each week with me. I win every year. I have a few bad weeks. That's the nature of the beast. It's the matchups. You get a good matchup. You maybe you play Kansas over Cincinnati, where Cincinnati, how do they score that much and win? What happened? Kansas had a good defense. What happened to it? So there's injuries or whatever, but okay, bad week. But then now here's this week, and we've got better matchups. We got Vandy getting 16 and Virginia and these. So you're looking at the matchups, and that's what you want. And so every week's different, but in the long run, just like gold might go down today at 10 o'clock, but in the long run, you're going to be way ahead. So just keep understanding you're not going to win every week, just like gold's not going to go up every day. Gold, they're manipulating it. I'm not manipulating, I'm just playing, but I know what's going to happen most of the time. So, sometimes I get fooled, but as we get later on, I don't get fooled anymore because we now understand the teams. But yeah, I mean, Alabama's rush defense, but it's Daggio. He basically runs a lot, but he throws. He's an excellent thrower, an excellent quarterback, and Alabama doesn't have the defense. They can't handle him. All right. I guess we'll do everything today. Sam Houston, New Mexico State. Sam Houston, 2.5, 53.5. They're a Z team. If you want, New Mexico State as a home dog is probably a good bet if you want to bet New Mexico State. I don't have that interest today. I did play the pro game tonight. The Rams and the Niners. I did play that. I also played a game tomorrow in college. The locks on Saturday and the locks on Sunday. Western Kentucky, Delaware, 2.5, 61.5. This is a very even game. Western Kentucky's got a very good quarterback, and they score. Delaware's a good team, trying to be Michigan. 2.5. I think Western Kentucky's very live here, and or the over because Western Kentucky plays high scoring games, and so does Delaware. So either way with this one, you could definitely take the dog or the over. Charlotte, South Florida. Charlotte's pretty bad. They're a W. They're a 29 defense. South Florida is a B team. They did have the good win over Boise. Florida is not that big of a win anymore. They're pretty bad. Where has Daria been? This second. Anyway, so Charlotte's a pretty bad team. Weak defense. South Florida, I don't know if they can handle a big number. They used to be a very explosive team, but it's hard. We saw them against Miami, didn't do much. Florida, they did do well on Boise, but I'm going to watch South Florida here. New Mexico, San Jose State. This is New Mexico is not a bad team. I like their coach. I'm shocked. I have New Mexico favored, and they got San Jose State favored 3 and 58.5. Both teams with the 28 defense. I'd be shocked if they didn't. New Mexico and 9 didn't cover. I really would. Colorado State, San Diego State. San Diego State 6 and 40.5. Colorado State's an under team. San Diego State's a B team with apparently a 9 defense. They normally have a pretty good defense. I don't know. It's hard to play these games. Like, do I want to play it under? I don't buy San Diego State's 9 defense, but I think they just played a 3-0 game with somebody. I don't know. West Virginia, BYU 19.5, 46.5. BYU, very strong defense. West Virginia, they keep getting blown out. Rich Rodriguez, I mean, he just runs. He's got one dimension, and if you figured him out, he doesn't do anything else. Just a running team. I'd say BYU. The defense will just dominate the game. DeAndre, Ohio Bobcats looking like an over. Let's see, where's Ohio? So let's see, what is Ohio here? Ohio, okay. Ohio's a B team with a 27 defense. Ball State's a Z team with a 33. So the problem you have is that Ball State doesn't score. And to get an over, you want both teams to score. Like, I'll go to Notre Dame and Boise. That's an over. They both score a ton, and neither defense is all there. So that is an over game because they 28 defenses, and Notre Dame scores 50 points a game, and so does Boise. So that's an over. Ohio and Ball State, I got Ball State not scoring. They got a 33 defense. So translated, Ohio will score on them, but I don't think Ball State's going to help us. And in an over, you need both teams to score, because what happens is you get a 30-0 lead and they just run the ball, run the clock out. And in the fourth quarter, you don't get any help because the game's not close. You must have a close game to get an over. You get a 38-0, you're never hitting the over. So, because the team in the lead just wants to run the ball out, right? So you gotta be careful there. I don't look at it as an over. If anything, I would say take Ohio, because they're an explosive team, but Ball State is not going to score for you. Air Force, Navy 12.5, 51.5. I like the Navy here, but it is a rivalry game. Air Force is defense is terrible. They just lost to Hawaii last week, like 48-36. So I have a feeling this is an over game. Navy, 11-40, and this is up to 51. Navy. Navy's going to score. Their quarterback scores a lot, and they're an A team with a 16 defense. It's almost a Navy play because of that, but because it's a rivalry, Air Force will try these Detroit Lion trick plays. So I don't know. But Air Force, they can score, but their defense sucks. So I think Navy just pounds the shit out of them. Iowa State, Cincy, this is your free play. Iowa State, a very live dog. I don't know why Cincinnati's favored. They did beat Kansas. It was more of a fluke, I think. I don't know how they beat Kansas, but that's really just I don't get it. Kansas is a very good team, so I think they had some injuries. But Cincy 1.5, 54.5. Take Iowa State in 7.5. Iowa State certainly can win the game outright, and it's going to be a close game. They're not losing by 20 points here. K-State and Baylor. Baylor 6.5, 61.5. K-State sucks this year. Very average team, a 25 defense. They just lost to Arizona or something. Baylor is got the best quarterback in the country, Robertson. He's up there with Daggio. Either one you'd be fine with. If I'm an NFL team, Indy, the Giants, okay, you have Dart, and you could have Daggio or Robertson. Who would you rather have? Well, I'd rather have Daggio or Robertson over Dart. But you've already drafted Dart, so you're going to stay with him. He's not very good, and you're passing up on two superstars. This is the problem with the NFL. They're a bunch of fucking idiots. So who needs a quarterback? Well, I can tell you, Houston, if we go through it, who needs a quarterback? The Niners, Minnesota for sure, Cleveland for sure. We'll see Dylan Gabriel, I think, starting, but he's not going to do anything. Houston needs a quarterback. Even Baltimore, they'd be much better with Lamar as a wide receiver. You'd have to double team him it's going to open up the whole offense. He's not a good quarterback, as we've seen. He's not good in the clutch. What is it that you see about having him? I don't know. Miami, Tagovailoa, he's okay. Carolina, they could use a quarterback. Denver's got Bo Nix. Philly really need a quarterback, but they won't admit because Hurts is just there for the tush push. Dallas, yeah, they need one. Dak sucks. The Jets, Fields, what are they kidding? The Giants, Dart, they'll stick with him, but he's not good. New Orleans needs one. Oakland could definitely use – Oakland needs to trade up to get Daggio or Robertson. Then they'd be all set. Indy, they need one. Jones sucks. Tampa, Baker's good. Seattle, Darnell, he's not going to be good in the big games, but okay. Tennessee, they need one, even though they just drafted Ward. Arizona, Kyler Murray. I don't know. He never wins these games. I'm kind of curious with Kyler Murray. Washington, Daniels, they don't need one. San Diego, Herbert, they do need one, but they don't think they do. Detroit with golf, since he's got Joe Burrow. New England, they need a quarterback, but they won't admit it. Buffalo with Allen, they don't. So you'll watch Allen against May, and then you'll realize how New England needs a quarterback. KC, obviously, Mahomes, they don't need one, and Jacksonville needs one in Lawrence. They'd all be better with Daggio or Robertson than what they got, most of the teams I just suggested. So that's what you have there. So Robertson will light it up. I think it's high scoring, but I think at the end of the day, Baylor might win by 2 or 3 touchdowns. They're much better at home. Kansas State, normally with a good defense, is at 25 right now. And they're just not scoring. They look like an average team right now. Kentucky, Georgia. Georgia off of a loss. Kentucky's pretty bad. They're an E team with a 26 defense, which is amazing. Kentucky normally has like a 15 defense. Usually we're going to run the ball and play defense. And this is, I don't know what they're doing. Their quarterback stinks. Their defense isn't that good. Georgia off of the loss. They're going to pound them. Laying 20 with 48 total. I don't know who Georgia is right now. I can't bet under Georgia and feel comfortable. Although it did stay under in the Alabama game. It was 45. I had over 47. And after the first half, I really can't believe I didn't get there. Georgia, always, at home. I don't know how good they are. So I'm not jumping on Georgia, but off of the loss, I would jump on Georgia. Ohio, Ball State, as we said, take Ohio. Illinois, Purdue. Now this should be high scoring. Illinois 9.5, 56.5. Purdue's got a quarterback. Their defense isn't great, but they did put up 30 on Notre Dame. They put up something on USC. Should have went over. We had a 3-hour rain delay. I don't understand rain delays in college football. You never had a rain delay. Now you got to wait and sweep the field. No. You play as it is. You play in the mud. What kind of crap is this? So Illinois here, very good offense. After getting slaughtered, they did beat SC. They'll be a little flat, so I think you can get an over here. BC Pitt 6.5, 58.5. I don't know. BC's got a good quarterback. He's a freshman. Pitt, Eli Holstein's good, but these are games I just avoid. Clemson, North Carolina. Clemson stinks. North Carolina is terrible. Both probably an under here, 46.5. Neither team can score. Clemson. See, you got infatuated with Kate Klublick's numbers of 35 touchdowns last year. This is where you'll be lucky to have 10. He's not good. Losing to Syracuse? Now, North Carolina can't beat them. They don't have an offense. But Belichick will design some sort of defense. And Lawrence Taylor and Michael Jordan will be there. I mean, Jesus Christ. Army and UAB. Army 757.5. Army's not very good this year because of their quarterback. UAB's an over team. They give up a lot. They score a lot. So not sure about that, but I wouldn't take Army's quarterback. It's all quarterback with that style of offense, and he's not good. Wisconsin, Michigan 17.5, 43.5. I don't know. I would think Michigan is an under because of the good defense and they run the ball, but they keep running for 70-yard touchdowns. They're fucking up the unders with these long touchdown runs that you can't predict because they're just running the ball. For them to score on Nebraska like they did, I think they'll just pound Wisconsin. Wisconsin's a very bad team. I'd take Michigan. I'd lay the 11 as opposed to dicking around with these unders. UTSA Temple. I think this will be high scoring. UTSA 6.5, 57.5. UTSA, very explosive team, but Temple's not bad. Again, they got the Sam Houston coach. Their quarterback, Simon's got like 10 touchdowns and 0 picks. They've been scoring. They're an over team. They got a 26 defense, so this is definitely an over. And what I like about it, it's 57. It's only a 51. We only need 28-24. They'll have that by halftime, UTSA. They score, and on Temple they'll score. This is a good over. Wake Forest, Virginia Tech 650.5. Virginia Tech stinks. Wake Forest, they could easily win this game. They're the better team here. They play Georgia Tech tough, my Georgia Tech team. So, they're a live dog, just like Virginia and Vanderbilt. Western Michigan, UMass. This should be a slaughter. UMass is terrible. They keep losing 42-6. I think that was the third time they lost 42-6. Western's not explosive, unfortunately. They're not the team. They're an under team with the 24 defense. So, yeah, but all they got to do is win by 7.5, 8 points. So they should handle that. I can't imagine they're going to be in trouble against UMass. So we'll see. So I don't know. Oak State, Arizona 20.5, 55. Oak State's the Z team. Freshman quarterback. That's why I don't understand why Gundy lost his job. He's starting a freshman who's probably going to be very good. It isn't, you can't have a senior every year. Arizona's okay. They got blown up by Iowa State. Look for them to play much better this week. EMU, Buffalo 10, 54.5. I have no desire on that one. Florida International and UConn. UConn's a pretty explosive team. Florida International is an E team. They both have like 26 defenses. Probably an over game, actually. 54. Again, it's in the 50s. Those are doable over games. Oregon State, App State. App State, 1.5, 53.5. I don't know. Oregon State. Malik Murphy's good, but they suck. But again, though, they're playing App State, although they are flying from Oregon to North Carolina. So it's one of these. Boise, Notre Dame, 3:30 game. Notre Dame, 20.5, 62.5. Go over. You can't take Notre Dame here. Boise's very explosive team. And Notre Dame really doesn't have a defense. I mean, A&M 41-40. So even Purdue got 30 on them. So you've got to go over here. Virginia, Louisville. Again, I don't understand. Louisville 6.5. I don't like Miller Moss, their quarterback. They got a good coach, but Virginia is playing very well and just beat Florida State. So are they going to be flat because they just beat them? I don't think so. I don't know, but maybe they are. But I think you got to take Virginia with that. All right. Syracuse, SMU. Syracuse's quarterback's out with an Achilles. SMU should blow them out. 17.5, 55, 58. SMU, good offense. Syracuse, no quarterback. Vanderbilt, Alabama, we talked about. Alabama, 10.5, 55.5. We get Daigel. And this is not Alabama with this great defense that Vanderbilt won't be able to get a first down on. This will be back and forth, and Vanderbilt's got a very good chance of winning. Texas, Florida, Texas 7, 41.5. The Arch Manning game. This Florida quarterback's horrible. Langway. Why did they think he was any good? He couldn't even get a first down against LSU. They'll probably get shut out here. And Texas is no bargain scoring either. So go under. James Madison, Georgia State. This is a very creative game I came up with. James Madison's 2053 and a half. And I love James Madison here. Wait till you see the teaser I played with them. Oh, it's beautiful. James Madison, an A team with a 15 defense. Georgia State's Z team with a 48 defense. Go James Madison, beat Navy. I mean, they're a strong run team, so they'll score a lot. Georgia State's pathetic. Now, they did lose to USC like 50-0. I think it was Georgia State. So they were getting pounded by some pretty good offenses. But James Madison being the A team here, look out for that. Central and Akron. Central is an E team with a 25 defense. Akron's a W with the 32. Central, it's hard to play them. 7.5, maybe, but it's on the road, and we can't trust these. We're getting burned. I'm not looking at a Central or Akron game. Miami of Ohio, Northern Illinois. Miami of Ohio surprisingly favored 4.5, 34.5, 30, 38.5. They're an under team. Both are under teams. 26 defense, Miami, and 20 for Northern Illinois. Total on the game's 38. I would say this is Northern Illinois always has a good defense, and apparently Miami does this year. Or they just aren't scoring. So probably go under here. Lou Monroe, Northwestern. Can Northwestern beat Lou Monroe, who absolutely sucks? I believe Alabama beat them 70-0. So again, that skews Lou Monroe. They're a Z team with the 28 defense, but 70 of it was Alabama. So they're probably like a 24 defense. Northwestern, what are they? They're an under. They can't score. They're pretty pathetic, even though it's Big Ten. Washington, Maryland. Washington off of a loss should get it back here. Maryland I have as a B team with a 10 defense. So let's look at what's really going on here. Maryland's not a 10 defense. I doubt they played anybody. I mean, it's only week 6, and we're waiting for Maryland to play their first game. So let's see. So Washington, all right. They beat Colorado State. Forget UC Davis. They beat Washington State, who's pretty bad. And then played Ohio State. They couldn't score. They got the ball at the 2-yard line twice, and they kicked field goals. It was very bad play calling, I thought. Maryland beats Florida Atlantic 39-7. Northern Illinois 20-9. Forget Townsend. And Wisconsin 27-10, who's terrible. They haven't played anybody, right? What is Florida Atlantic and Northern Illinois and Townsend? What kind of schedule is this? Okay, and then they beat Wisconsin. There's no way they're beating Washington. What kind of crap is this? This is the problem. You played 4 weeks. Well, they played 4 games, and they haven't played anybody. How do you know how good Maryland is? This is the problem we're having, right? The weak team, Florida Atlantic, the Townsend, the high school team, and they played one team, Wisconsin. How do you sit there and judge Maryland? This is what we run into. We're going on week 6, and we have no idea about Maryland. None. Again, I got him as a B team with the 10 defense. I can't believe that. Believe me, Washington's going to put up 35 points. Washington, even them, we can't. Okay, now they played Ohio State. And, I think they had some very bad play calling in the game at the goal lines. And then they go for, these stupid let's go on fourth downs. What is it with all the coaches? Oh, it's fourth down. We got to go for it. Excuse me? It's fourth down. Try kicking a field goal, especially when you need points. Like Georgia, it's fourth down at the 10. Kick the fucking field goal. You're down 3 points. There's no excuse. That's just idiot coaching. I don't know the value of it because even if Georgia got a first down at the 10-yard line, so let's say they got it and the guy got the yard. Now what? First and 10 at the 10, you're still not going to score a touchdown, but you took the risk of getting the first down that if you don't get it, you lose the game, and you didn't get it. If you get it, it doesn't guarantee you anything. You'll probably still be kicking a field goal, only now you've taken the risk of not getting it on fourth down. And then what plays are you fucking calling at the goal line against Alabama at the 10-yard line that are going to work? You're not going to score a touchdown. So this is the problem. The coach has his head up their ass, but most of these coaches have their head up their asses. What are they doing? You've got to you've got to get your points. I mean, it's all risk and reward. Your risk is getting the first down, but your reward's nothing. If you get it, there's no reward. You keep the ball, but in this point, you need to get the points. You need the field goal. That's your reward. So kick the field goal. The risk of getting the first down with no reward makes 0 sense. That's all I can say. Well, we're going to try to score a touchdown because it's fucking Bama, and, give me a break. I know Alabama doesn't have that real strong defense, but come on, Georgia. You don't have a running back. And I don't know what you're doing. The play called was horrible. What are you doing? Kick your field goal. There's no advantage to going for it. None. Oh, we'll score a touchdown. Bullshit, you'll score a touchdown. But if you fail, why can't they understand the risk? If I don't get the fourth down, we lose the game, and I'm not guaranteed of getting the first down. I've seen more guys screw up their games going for a first down, Oregon, going for the first down and not getting it and losing the game from it. What the fuck are they doing? All right. I spoke my piece. So, again, we don't know who Maryland is. We know who Washington is. They got the better players, but they got to travel to the East Coast from the West Coast. It's a 3:30 game, so 12:30. Maryland, we don't know who they are. And they could win the game and have a real good team, but we have no idea because they played fucking Florida Atlantic and Townsend. All right, they beat Wisconsin. Big deal. Penn State, UCLA, same thing in reverse. Penn State off of the loss, should be pissed off. 24.5, 49.5. UCLA is the Z team. Oh, yeah, but Penn State, you got to travel to California. It's a 3:30 game there, so they're lucky that it's a 3:30 game and not the 11 o'clock at night game. Penn State, I don't know how good they are. UCLA, pretty bad team, a Z. Penn State probably wins off of the loss, but I'm not laying 24 points, and they got to go all the way to the West Coast. No interest. At this point, I'm looking for any reason not to bet them because after the last couple of weeks, Texas State, Arkansas State, Texas State, 13.5, 64.5. Texas State, very explosive. Arkansas State is a W. So they got a 32 defense. Yeah, Texas State should have a field day in this one. Kent State, Oklahoma. Oklahoma's quarterback's out. They're laying 45 with the backup. Yeah, good luck on that one. I wouldn't touch that game. Kent State's terrible. I don't know if they're a Z. Yeah, they're a Z team with a 44 defense, but Oklahoma I mean, without a quarterback, how are you going to score all these points? Michigan State, Nebraska 11 and a half, 48 and a half. I think Michigan State's live here. They went to USC and played well. They score, they have a little defense. Nebraska, I still don't like Rayola, and then their defense I thought was good. Didn't show up against Michigan. So I don't know. I think Michigan and State in 17 and a half is very live. Coastal Carolina, Old Dominion. Old Dominion 20 and 54. Old Dominion is the A team in that league. It's the same league as the James Madison. An A team with the 17 defense. Coastal Carolina is a W with the 27 defense. I like Old Dominion here. They're old and they're a Dominion. Okay. South Alabama, Troy 1.5, 47.5. South Alabama's an over team. Troy's an under. South Alabama is up 32. No comment there. Vegas, Wyoming, Vegas 3.5, 49.5. Wyoming's always tricky at home. They have that good defense. Vegas is a over team with a 28 defense. A 50, what's it? 3.5, 49.5. This total went down from 53. Really no interest in this. It's always hard to play at Wyoming. Florida Atlantic and Rice 4.5, 53.5. Rice an under team, Florida Atlantic an over team. I'd say Florida Atlantic's a live dog here, but again, no interest. Texas Tech, Houston, Tech 11.5, 51.5. This is an interesting game. Tech has a 11 defense, Houston a 13. I expected Houston to, but I didn't expect Tech. They totally dominated Houston, but they got lucky because the refs were all over them. There was a touchdown by Dampier, Utah's quarterback, that was called back for illegal man downfield. What the fuck are you doing with that? Why are you calling that penalty? The guy's blocking. That should never be called illegal man downfield. Not in the scope of him throwing a 60-yard pass and the guy's blocking somebody and the guy just kind of pulls him out a little bit. That's a terrible penalty called. So I don't know, but let's see how they handle Houston's defense. The game's in Houston. I think Houston's can play them tough. An over, an under. It's hard. Texas Tech scores so much to really. I don't know what we're doing. Houston, with Oregon State, it was 24-21 or something like that. It's really tough because Texas Tech can score. And apparently they can play defense, and Houston doesn't have that great quarterback. So I don't know. It's too hard to take Tech minus 5.5, go under maybe, but it's Texas Tech. Very difficult game. Kansas, UCF. Kansas 4.5, 54.5. Who's UCF? UCF's like Maryland. Let's look at their schedule. Has UCF played anybody? Well, they beat Jacksonville State 17-10, North Carolina A&T, North Carolina, and the only decent game they played, Kansas State beat them 34-20. So they scored 17 on Jacksonville State, 34 on North Carolina, and 20 on Kansas State. That was the only real team they played. They lost 34-20. Kansas, I don't know. They killed Fresno State. They should have beat Missouri, but it's really a 35-31 game. They kill West Virginia, and then they lose to Cincinnati. I mean, how do you play Missouri so strong and kill West Virginia and then lose at home to Cincinnati? Hard to understand. So UCF, Kansas should beat them, but after getting our brains beaten in last week by them, I don't want to go there again. So they're probably good after the loss, but again, it's hard to bet them. That's the psychology. The team loses, so you don't want to bet them, even though this might be the week to bet them off of the loss. Very, very confusing. Colorado, TCU 13.5, 57.5. We know how strong TCU is. Actually, a B team, 21 defense. Colorado and E, 22, a new quarterback. Prime Junior's gone. TCU, very explosive with Hoover. I'm scared of the 13 to give to Colorado because Prime will fuck it up somehow. So probably an over game. TCU will score a lot. Colorado will get something. We'll see. Old Mississippi State and A&M. A&M 14.5, 55.5. A&M very explosive, although I don't know what happened last week with Auburn. Old Mississippi State's playing well. They beat Arizona State, and they played Tennessee into overtime. So I think this is a very live dog, Old Mississippi State. Minnesota, Ohio State 24, 44.5. Definitely, after watching Washington, I think Minnesota's going to have trouble scoring in this game. Minnesota has a 16 defense. They're pretty good defensively, so I think you got to go under here. I think Ohio State showed it's very difficult to score on them, and they score a little, but they're going to struggle a little with Minnesota, and we're looking at 50, so probably that way. Miami and Florida State. Miami 4.5, 54.5. I have one question. Why is Miami favored in the game? I have Florida State as a 3-point favorite. They lost to Virginia, so what? They beat Alabama. That's all that matters. How they losing to Virginia is everybody's going to lose to Virginia. They're a very good team with a very good quarterback. Miami, they struggled with Notre Dame. They beat South Florida, Whippy. I'm not sold on they beat Florida, Whippy. Florida State's very good. They showed you when they want to play against Alabama, they played, and I think you have the same thing here. You've got Florida State as a home dog. That's huge. Tease the dog in this one. Tulsa, Memphis 20.5, 56.5. Memphis is an A team with an 18 defense. Tulsa's an under with a 22. So it's hard to lay 20 against a good defense. So we're always looking to play a Memphis against the 30 defense. But when you got them against the 22, you got to be careful. Fresno State, Nevada. Fresno State 13.5, 44.5. Fresno State, a B team with a 20 defense. Nevada, a W with the 27 defense. So again, probably Nevada's pretty good. Probably Fresno State probably gets it here. And Duke Cal, again, you have let's fly from North Carolina to California. Let's fly 5 hours to play a football game against Cal, who's pretty good. Duke's 3-point favorite. I like Cal in the 9. All right. That is college football. Again, your free play is Iowa State getting 7.5, a very strong dog there. 2 locks. And we're not even counting Vandy as anything. Let's go to the NFL. The Rams up to 8.5, 44.5. I've already played this game. Boy, it really went down. Oh, yeah, because Purdy's out. So with Purdy out, the total went down and the line went up. So again, keep in mind when you buy from me, I am not necessarily putting the play in today at this line. I'm probably putting the play in at a different line because I know I'm going to play it. If I get a good line, I'm going to bet it. So that's the thing. And the line's always moving. So don't worry too much about that. Frisco and the Rams, 8.5, 40. So I like Frisco with or without Purdy, didn't matter. Rams are just the better team. I think I said the Rams, not Frisco. So yeah, the Niners. I keep doing that. The Rams at home on a Thursday. The home team usually has an advantage. Yeah, I know it's an hour flight from Frisco to LA. Still, you're getting on a plane. You're still traveling, and the Rams are just sitting there waiting for you. And yeah, the jet travel is not much, but I just think Stafford and that are better. Let's look at the news, and we can check some injuries. NFL news injury updates. Brock Purdy among 49er stars ruled out. Why Jalen Daniels practiced with a knee brace. I swear I thought it was his foot or ankle, not his knee. Jalen Daniels has been cleared to practice. I don't know what that means. Mariota went 1-1, beating Oakland, losing to Atlanta. Daniels has a knee sprain. He wore a brace Wednesday. I plan on going out there Sunday, Daniels says. See, Daniels is a winner. He wants to play. A lot of these quarterbacks, I hurt myself. I gotta sit out. Like Deshaun Foster or the Cleveland quarterback, Deshaun Watson, Julio Jones. I got this hamstring injury for the last 7 years. Brock Purdy and wide receivers Juan and Ricky Pearsall and Jordan Watkins are all ruled out. So, who's the quarterback going to throw to? I don't even know who the backup is. It's Mac Jones. So who's he even going to throw to? My guess, they're going to run McCaffrey 55 times and throw him the ball and hit the tight ends, if even Kittle's even playing. Lamar didn't practice. Well, he's not going to practice for 2 weeks. He's got a pulled hamstring. Oh, there's no status. The status for Sunday's in doubt. It's not in doubt. He's not playing. We already know that. All right. It's get to the point, fellas. J.J. McCarthy remains out of practice. He's not hurt. He sucks. Jets placing Braylon Adam on IR. He's a running back. Who cares? Ravens with a bunch of injuries to their defense. Cornerback Awuzie, Nate Wiggins, and Marlon Humphrey. Linebackers Smith and Van Noy, and safety Kyle Hamilton. Defensive end Brett Urban, and nose tackle Travis Jones, are all of whom were either limited or didn't participate in practice, which doesn't mean anything. That's pretty normal. If you're a little injured, you're not practicing. I'm sure all those defensive players will play. Well, nothing else. Bunch of garbage. All right, back to the scores. Minnesota, Cleveland, from London at 9 a.m. Like anybody's stupid enough to get up for this and watch it on the NFL Network is probably 3 people. The NFL Network pays them all the money, and what? Nobody's watching. First of all, nobody wants to watch. Nobody has the NFL Network, so nobody's going to go out and buy it for Minnesota, Cleveland. Secondly, nobody's interested in watching football at 9:30 on a Sunday, and if you're on the West Coast, 6:30 on a Sunday. Nobody's getting up for this crap. I don't understand the NFL Network. You know, it makes no sense. I think they get a game or two later. Who cares? This is so stupid. Nobody in their right mind is paying NFL. This is terrible. McCarthy's out, so you got Carson Wentz against. I believe that Dylan Gabriel has been named the starter. Good luck there. I don't think the answer isn't Flacco. He's got nobody to throw to. 3.5, 36.5. Good luck on this game. We've got Houston and Baltimore. Houston 240.5. Houston, the great defense. Baltimore, Lamar's out. Half the defense we're not sure of. Even if the whole defense is out, Houston still can't score. So, I don't know. Tough game here. Do you still want to bet Houston? Even you got CJ Stroud, but you do have the good defense. So, I don't know. And I don't mind Cooper Rush is better than Lamar, so we'll see. Miami and Carolina. Miami 1.5, 44.5. How can you play Miami as a road favorite? Carolina sucks. Miami's a Z team, 30 defense. Carolina's an under with the 24. There's so many bad games, no interest. Denver, Philly. See, this is the problem. Then you got Denver playing Philly again. There's no interest. Philly 3.5, 43.5. I don't want to take Denver and get fucked by Philly. Hard to play Philly and worry about Denver winning. 3.5, 43.5. Denver an under team with a 17 defense, and Philly's a B with a 22. Where do you go with this game? Over or under? You really don't know. Philly can score. Denver, I don't know. So it becomes you really don't know what you have here. You think, well, I'll take Philly. This is a Denver traveling, but I think they're in the mountain zone. So this is a 11 o'clock game for Denver. I don't know. I like Denver, but I'm not going to play him as a road dog at Philly. And this is the problem. So they don't leave you a lot to bet here. Dallas and the Jets. Dallas 2.5, 47.5. You got Dak against Fields. Dallas is a over team with the 33 defense. The Jets W with the 30. Fields against Dak. Fields scores somehow without throwing the ball, just runs. He'll run for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. Worst quarterback I've ever seen. I mean, that's all he wants to do is run. It's pathetic. Both defenses are 33. Maybe you go over in the game. I don't know where you're going to get the points. You don't have CeeDee Lamb. So what do you do with it? The Giants go to New Orleans, and New Orleans is 2-42. New Orleans is a Z team with the 30 defense and Rattler. How are they favored? Oh, because the Giants are a W team and Dart. So that shows you what they think of Dart. He's a dog to Rattler. That's how bad he is. I don't know. Dart, terrible. I mean, he'll run. He's a quarterback. He's supposed to throw the ball. Again, another thing of a quarterback who can't throw, but he can run, so we'll sign him up. And we know we can't win with him because he can't throw. And yet New Orleans is favored. I mean, I almost want to take the Giants because New Orleans is favored. Oakland and Indy 748. Oakland, Geno Smith's terrible. Daniel Jones is terrible. Taylor's good, the running back. Indy's an 18 with the 21 defense. Oakland and under with the 25. I have no idea. Tampa, Seattle 3.5, 44.5. I can tell you one thing on this is Tampa's 14-0 is a road dog. Enough said there. An 18 with the 24 defense, and the Baker goes against Seattle. An 18 I'm not sure of with the 17 defense, again playing Arizona and the Niners. Arizona, Tennessee. Arizona 7.5, 42.5. Again, you have Cam Ward. Tennessee's a Z team with the 30. Arizona and under with the 19. Murray doesn't do much. Ward's terrible. I don't know. Maybe you take Arizona. Tennessee's not going to win. I'm just filling in my stars. So there's so many games you can't bet because the teams are so bad, you have no idea. Washington goes to San Diego. San Diego 2.5, 48. Now, Daniels expects to play. Normally, a healthy Daniels would be a live dog anytime. Going to San Diego is not a problem. They're a B team with a 23 defense. And Daniels, San Diego and under with an 18, and Herbert, who's prone for interceptions. Washington's defense looks better this year. They actually scored a lot at Atlanta. So we'll see. If Daniels plays, I don't know. San Diego was so pathetic last week, although I would assume at home they'll play a much better off of a loss. This is a real tough game. Maybe an over, but if Daniels plays, this could be an over. That's about it. I wouldn't play it any other way. Detroit, Cincinnati, Detroit 10.5, 49.5. Detroit, the A team with the 22 defense and golf, and since he's a Z team with a 30 and Browning, I think you take the Lions there. They seem to rely on running the ball and then mixing it up, and they are able to score, and then their defense feeds off of the lead, and they just shut you down, and they just cover. So Detroit to win by 4 is a joke with Browning. With Burrow, I'd be all over Burrow in 16 in a heartbeat. But here, you got to take Detroit. New England, Buffalo. This is your free play. Buffalo -1. Buffalo an 18 with a 23 defense. Josh Allen. New England an under team with the 20 defense and Drake May. Little edge to Buffalo in the teaser trend. I can't see Buffalo losing to New England at home. They are very dangerous at home. In our last game, KC 3.5, 46.5 to Jacksonville. You get Mahomes in points. Right? They're 3.5. You get 2.5. It's Mahomes versus Trevor Lawrence. KC's defense should be the difference here. They'll stop them, and Jacksonville doesn't have any answer for Mahomes. Go Mahomes. Go Mahomes, beat Navy. That is pro football. Teaser trends. The Rams tonight, Minnesota. Philadelphia is a teaser trend. Denver's also 20-2 in a teaser. Dallas has a teaser trend. Tampa Bay 14-0 is a road dog. Detroit 12-1 is a road favorite. Small for Buffalo and a small for KC. Play against Jacksonville as a home dog 7-0. So if you take KC 7-0, Overall teasers: Minnesota, Tampa, the Rams, Philly, Washington, Jacksonville, Buffalo, Indy, Houston, Denver, and San Diego. What that means is these teams in a teaser the last year and a half, so the whole of last year and these first 4 weeks, these teams are all over 85% in a teaser. Play against, and these are normally the shit teams, the JETSs: Indy, Tennessee, Cincinnati, the Niners, New Orleans, Atlanta, the Giants, and Dallas. If you bet against them, you win. So those are those teams. So you'll see sometimes like Indies on both sides because they're starting to get better. They were terrible in a teaser last year, but they're better this year. So Indy's a team, and Jacksonville, we're trying to figure out. We're not betting on them. We're not really betting against them. We really don't know who the hell they are. If I knew Indy was good, I'd take them against the Raiders when they won. But I don't. I don't. Am I going to bet on fucking Daniel Jones? Not in a million years. The key to betting is you've got to trust the quarterback. Can the quarterback win for me? That's why I never bet Lamar, because I can't trust him. So you've got to trust Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers. You trust these guys, you'll bet them. But I can't bet on Daniel Jones. How can you trust him? The guy's terrible. I don't know what they're doing at Indy. Somebody will figure it out. Maybe they start playing good teams and they'll start getting crushed. Didn't they lose last week, I think, to the Rams? So there you go. Jacksonville beat the Niners, but the Niners aren't the same Niners. They're a lot of different players, so the Niners are in trouble. Anyway, so I got one lock. Your free play is Buffalo. As far as I know, Lamar's out. I don't know why they keep saying doubtful for. And then it's Wentz against, and I guess it's Dylan Gabriel, not Flacco. Stroud against Cooper Rush. And I don't mind. Cooper Rush is not a terrible quarterback. He could win this game because Stroud's so bad. But the key to the game is Houston's defense. Tagovailoa against Steve Young. How are these guys even in the NFL? Nixon Hurts. Nick's is much better. Dak against Fields. What is Fields doing in the NFL? Dart and Radler. What are these guys doing in the NFL? I'm yet to hear a quarterback. Smith against Jones in the Oakland Indy game. What kind of crap is that? Finally, get a quarterback. Baker against Darnold. Ward against Murray. Nothing. Daniels against Herbert. Finally, you get some pro quarterbacks. Golf against Browning. Well, Golf's good. May against Allen. Of course, Allen. May's terrible. And then you've got Mahomes, who's the best against Lawrence. So you're looking for trust. If I bet you, are you going to win for me? That's really the key to it. And so we try to break down, well, what are we looking for? The quarterback. If I take you to Daggio, I take you to Sawyer Robertson on Baylor. And I go, well, that's who we're going to bet on, are the quarterbacks who can win for us, who've been winning for us. Daggio proved that he was at the dynamite at New Mexico State. And then you get him here at, he beat Alabama last year and should have beat Texas. So now all of a sudden you're like, okay, he's our guy. He's our bitch. And that's so when they get drafted next year, I'll be betting Daggio in that right away. Why they waited so long to take Penix, I had no idea. That was incredibly stupid. And I get why they took Cousins. They didn't think they could get Penix, but when Penix landed in their lap, they had to take Penix. He's much better than Cousins. Cousins is terrible. So you have to look at that. I mean, you have to have the reason to bet, and our reason is the coach, the quarterback, and the defense. And so we're trying to go, okay, they're an under team, they're an over team. we're trying to get a feel for the team so we play them. We don't want to bet against a 15 defense because they can kill you. We want to look for the 33 defense, Baltimore, the 30 defense, Miami, the 33 defense, Dallas, and the 30 defense, the Jets. That should be an over game. We're looking for the weak because the weak defense isn't going to stop you. I mean, even Green Bay, it was still 40-40 with the weak defenses. So Green Bay, terrible coaching. They didn't take what's his name away, Pickens. They didn't double team Pickens. Who's their coach? What idiot is their coach? Again, I see the coaches are incredibly stupid now. There's no George Allen. There's no Lombardi. Bill Walsh, whatchamacallit, our friend from the Giants, Parcells. You think Parcells would have not kicked the field goal for Georgia to tie the game and let Lawrence Taylor loose to win the game like he did against the Niners in 1990? Are you kidding me? This is the point. You play to your strengths, and then I don't see any of these teams. It's fourth down. Let's go for it. Why? Well, because we didn't do it on 3rd and 5, or I hate the announcers. Well, they ran on 3rd and 5, so obviously they're going for it on 4th and 1. Why? Why would you run on 3rd and 5 to go for it on 4th and 1? Why wouldn't you just go for it on 3rd and 5, like every other normal team would do? Bill Walsh, you ever see him go for a 4th down? Very, very rarely. We know in the Super Bowl, Cincinnati against the Niners went on a 4th and 1 and didn't get it. That was the game. I don't know. I just sit there and I scratch my head, and I just wonder how these guys are coaches, how these quarterbacks are in the league, and all we can do is just take advantage of this stupidity. You want to make Carson Wentz a pro? Oh, I'll bet against him. Oh, Tagliavua against Steve Young. Neither of them are pros. Well, he threw a touchdown pass once, Steve Young. Yeah, he threw one touchdown pass. And even the original Steve Young, I didn't like. I thought he was terrible. He sucked at Tampa. He went to the Niners. He sucked at the Niners. He had that really terrible play in the 90 championship game when he handed off badly and the guy fumbled to Lawrence Taylor, cost him the Super Bowl title. Should have just faked it and kept the ball and got down. I mean, you're only running the clock. You're not running into Lawrence Taylor thinking you're getting a first down. So what the fuck are you running? Just take a knee 3 times and then you're going to, run the clock down, and they're not moving with Phil Simms on your defense. So I thought that was, again, a very bad coaching mistake. If you're going to do that, then Steve Young should keep the ball and try to roll around Lawrence Taylor, which would have worked, because that's all Steve Young could do is run. Another running quarterback who couldn't play. But that's the key. So everything's posted. 2 Locks Pros, 2 Locks College. Again, free play Iowa State, free play Buffalo Bills. And those Buffalo, if you lose at home to New England with Drake May, there's nothing you can do. And that's a lot of the problem. There's nothing we can do. We make good bets. We make good picks. We have to make the picks before the game starts. We can't make them after the game starts, unfortunately. So that's where we're at. All right, let's take a look at our gold and silver. Now, these should have gotten jumped from the 10 o'clock when they got killed. Yeah, they're starting to come up. So silver jumped back to 46.40. and gold's back to 38.43. So gold barely never went, it got to 3,900. And then the big spike down, and now here it comes back to 38. It's all options. It's all bullshit. Nobody's selling. And that's this is what you really got to understand is this is not people selling their gold, dropping the price. This is options. And that's why I laugh when people go, well, we can do it. If everybody were to buy an ounce of silver, the price would go up. No, that's absolutely 100% false because the price only goes by the options. That's it. The options direct, this 38.43 are option prices. They are not physical. The whole world could buy 10 tons of silver and gold and it wouldn't move the price because the price doesn't move by that. It moves by the option. I don't know why it's so hard for people to understand that, but they want to keep buying just go buy the fucking physical. And don't worry, it's not going to move the price, but that's okay. You don't care. You just wait for the ride. I mean, I don't go buy gold and silver that much because I haven't been working. But when the guy sees me, he's like, "Oh, you're not working." I says, "No, I bought and bought and bought, and the last 5 years, I was buying gold at 1,700 and silver at 20, and now I'm just sitting there watching it go up and just real happy with it. I bought a little bit of silver a couple of weeks ago, but I'm, pretty content the amount I bought and watching the price go. I'm like, okay, that's what I knew would happen, and it's happening. And yeah, I'd like to buy more, but I mean, this. I'm working now. I'm working watching gold go up, watching silver go up. I'm working. All right. Any videos? Mark McGuire's on tomorrow. Nobody goes to Vegas anymore unless they're a fool. Well, we know that. We know the prices are way high. Here's a good one we need to watch. This repairs and improves memory. They don't want you to know. I love how they put that in the title. They don't want you to know this, so you should watch this. We'll have to watch that. All this with the war. Well, let's look what Alligator's saying. The Fed pivot is here. Gold and silver set to explode with the question mark.
When life knocks you down, we help you rise. At Blue Cross Blue.
Alistair, do you believe that by lowering the interest rate by the Federal Reserve last week is the beginning of more rate cuts and therefore will push the price of gold and silver higher, or will they attempt to reverse going forward?
I think that the central banks, and particularly the Fed, it has an intractable problem because the evidence now is that the US economy is running into a brick wall. And therefore, from the Fed's point of view, the more important of its twin responsibilities is to preserve employment rather than tackle inflation. So what we are seeing, in effect, is confirmation of a shift away from inflation targeting to reflation. Now, this, put in those simple terms, you can see that a cut in interest rates undermines the dollar's value, certainly in terms of its purchasing power. It's yet to do it significantly against other currencies. In other words, the trade-weighted index is yet to fall significantly. But having said that, a look at the charts tell us that it's only a matter of time before that happens. And more importantly, markets put something like a 96% possibility on 2 further cuts by the year end. Now, if that is the case, then the dollar is going to get undermined in the foreign exchanges very significantly. And this is bound to be reflected in a flight out of dollars and into real legal money, which in everybody's common law, as we know, is gold. And of course, silver benefits from that as well, because having in the past had this very important role of a monetary metal and then subsequently subsidiary to gold, that sort of, if you like, vibe is going to return to silver. And I think we will see the gold-silver ratio fall substantially from where it is, currently around about 87, down towards a historic, more normal. I don't mean going back to Isaac Newton's 14.5 ounces of silver to 1 of gold, but I think we could easily see it below 30 and easily attacking 20 if, and this is an if this ends up with the destruction of fiat currencies, silver will return as a monetary metal. And at the moment, it's looking like there's a shortage in the market of the stuff, which basically tells us that it's completely mispriced. So I think we are likely to see currencies continue to decline, gold and silver continue to run.
Yeah, like interesting. I mean, talking about the gold and silver ratio, Dara and I always get a little bit interested in the gold and silver ratio, because there's a little saying out there in Australia. It's like selling carpets. There's a special on every week, especially in the retail industry. You got a sale going on, 50% off, 80% off, and all this sort of rubbish. But you never see a special on silver or gold price. Never. Right, and this is the only one that I think the public.
I'm sorry. What did he just say? It's on sale every day. The price of gold and silver that you can get on using the COMEX price instead of the real price, it's always on sale. What the fuck is this guy? He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Our clients can take advantage of, because if Alistair is right, and we're talking about an 86, 87 ounces of silver to buy 1 ounce of gold. If it goes below 40, that means, and that's even better, but if it goes below 40, it means that you can use your silver that you buy today to buy gold at 50% off, because your silver has gone up at twice the value or twice as fast as gold. So that's a very good reminder just to keep an eye out for that silver and gold ratio.
So let me add a comment. So here's my comment. Gold and silver are always on sale thanks to the COMEX paper price fixing 10 times under the real physical prices. The professor. We never get gold or silver on sale. Oh my God, it's on sale every fucking day. How do these morons not understand this is the paper price of gold, not the physical price of gold? Is it this hard to understand that the COMEX price is nowhere near the real price? Or do these idiots actually think this is the real price of gold? I mean, just because COMEX is doing options and paper pricing it, there's no way that's the real price. That's just the paper bullshit price. wow, these guys are dumber than I thought. It's so hard for me because I hear this shit and I just go, what the fuck's this guy talking about? All these wars. So they think these wars get you out of a recession. How? How does spending money? So we're running a business and we're losing money. So should we go out and spend and buy things that aren't going to make us any money? It's going to get us profitable. So I'm losing $1 million, and let's go do road construction, like the government. We'll spend another $1 million on that. Now we're 2 million in the hole because doing the roads did not generate any revenue. That's the problem with government. They want to spend. So they spend and spend and spend on roads. I mean, here every road is it's terrible. I can't even go to the lake. They just closed one road going up and one road going across. It's unbelievable. So they believe what? They believe that if I spend money, then I'm hiring workers, and that's going to get us out of the recession. The problem is it doesn't make any money. That's why the government should not be involved in anything, because they're a bunch of fucking idiots. It only makes money if you build a McDonald's and people come and McDonald's makes money. Then it's worth it. But if you're just trying to build a road and you think, well, we'll hire people, where are you going to get the money to hire them? Oh, well, that's government spending. Well, we'll just print it. Well, that hurts. That inflates the money supply to zero as it is now. And these workers that are working, great, but they're not producing any revenue. There's no revenue being produced. The state doesn't benefit by us doing road construction. So it puts a few guys to work in construction. How does that solve your problem? The government is still way, way over budget, and we're still in a recession because you guys want to fucking do road construction. Well, it'll put the guys back to work. No, there's no revenue being produced. Same thing with the war. Oh, we'll put the defense contractors to work and we'll put soldiers, we'll get them killed, but that'll help. What are you talking about? Wars do not fix recessions. The only reason in World War II we got out because we sold our military to the Brits and the Russians, and they paid us in gold, and we sold it as the only way to get out of it. But that normally doesn't get you out of it. If you couldn't sell it, then you couldn't do it. And the British used gold to pay for the weapons. But we were a manufacturing thing. We're not a manufacturer now. So you have all these wars, and you think, oh, we'll do what we did in World War II. We'll sell all the weapons to the Ukraine and these others. Well, Ukraine doesn't have any money to buy it. And in fact, Zelensky steals the money. He's got a house in Florida and a house in Italy and a lot of money in the bank. The money doesn't make it to the soldiers or the people of Ukraine. So you got nothing there. So what the fuck are these people? Will have a war to get out of a recession? You fucking you idiots! That it can't work. You have to generate revenue, which you're not, and you have to. So Ukraine's going to buy all our weapons? Like they have money? No. Oh wait, we'll give the Ukraine money so they buy our weapons. What? It doesn't work. Wars are extremely expensive. The Civil War bankrupted the U.S. All these wars bankrupt countries. They are not revenue producing. The fact that people are dying and that the defense contractors can make bullets and guns and tanks and stuff. Yes, it generates revenues for them, but not for the country, and not a lot more than they would have anyway. They are not what's used to get out of a recession. So I don't know what they're thinking and why they have these wars. It's terrible. People are dying and you're fucking around. thinking it'll get us out of a recession. You got a $37 trillion debt you can't get out of. How the fuck do you think you're going to get out of debt with the war? Well, everybody will buy our weapons and we'll get 37 trillion in, and then we're going to use it to pay off our debt. Well, how? The money's worthless. Even if you printed $37 trillion, the money would be worthless. It wouldn't get you out of the debt. You cannot get out of the debt unless you have gold. You have to have an asset, a Picasso, a Rolex, mantle cards. Okay. And raised. So the way I would get us out of $37 trillion debt is buy as much gold as I can. And then if I can, I would price gold at 500,000 an ounce. And I would take $37 trillion of gold by how many ounces I need. And that's how I would pay it. It's the only way you can pay it off. But then you make China and Russia rich because they got all the gold. So you don't want to do that, but you have no choice. You cannot get out of the 37 trillion and you cannot default on it. Because even if you don't use US dollars and you use US dollar 2 or stable coin or Bitcoin, it's not going to help. It's not going to get you anywhere because Bitcoin and stablecoin aren't real. And you can't just, well, here's my new dollar. Yeah, that's the only way a currency can be used is it has to be demanded. It has to be the most demanded thing. So at this point, this makes most sense, but not Bitcoin. Nobody wants Bitcoin. You can't spend it. You can't go to a restaurant with a Bitcoin or a grocery store. You're not going to go with the stable coin because most of these owners are not going to take it. My guy at the barbecue says, I'm not taking Bitcoin. I don't know what it is, and I don't know the value. The guy at Toyota, gold they'll take, silver they'll take. At the barbecue, he'll take silver. He knows what it is, especially now he sees it at 46 an ounce. That's fine, but that's it. I mean, but why use your gold and silver now when it's so cheap? When silver hits 1,000, maybe I'll sell a few ounces. When gold hits 10,000, maybe I'll sell an ounce or two if I want to go on a vacation. But it's not to be sold, and people don't get that. It's not an investment like a stock. Oh, I bought Coke at 20, it's at 40, I made money. I'll dump it and take my profit. Well, what are you going to do with it? It's still in dollars, it's still worthless. Gold has value, and that's really the key to it. Gold always has value, so you don't want to. You're not really wanting to get out of gold. Maybe if we're in a BRICS country and we all ran to Russia and we could trade their gold for gold-backed currency, then I could see selling it because you get the currency. But I'd be very leery about getting out of my gold coins for any gold paper or anything. That would be it, and you'll be fine. And that's really the key to it. You own money, and it is not looking to get out of it. You're looking to accumulate it. That's why the guy asked me, well, why do you buy quarter ounces and tenth of an ounce and half an ounce? Because I can't afford an ounce every time I go into the store, but I still want to accumulate. So, I mean, back then it was $300-400 for a quarter ounce, and I'd buy a couple of quarter ounces. And tenth of an ounces were 150, 200, and I'd buy some tenth of an ounces. It made sense, but I'm not paying that much for it. I know it's going to go up, and you don't always want to sell an ounce, but you might sell a quarter ounce. Quarter ounce is $1,000 now. Maybe there's something I need with $1,000. I don't want to sell an ounce. So keep that in mind. It's just accumulate. Now, last time he had nothing. I don't know if he'll have anything if I go back today or tomorrow or whatever. But this is not to be profit taking. Only a moron profit takes gold, because that means you get back on the Titanic, you get back into this, and you want to run away from that. Or this, or a Swiss franc, or a Canadian, or British pound, or any currency that has paper that isn't backed by anything. You do not want to park into that. You want to stay into gold. So there's no profit taking gold. It's if you need it for a expense, a trip, a medical bill, then you would do it. Otherwise, you have no reason to get out of gold back into dollars. Like I said, if you're going on a trip, okay, then you'll just hit your credit card with it. You're fine. That would be the purpose of getting out of gold, and only an ounce or two. You have 100 ounces, 90 of it isn't leaving your sight. The 10 you might play around with, but again, as it keeps going up, 3,600, 3,700, 3,800, and you got to keep score. So if you have 100 ounces, every $100 it goes up is $10,000 you made, but you don't realize it because you still have 100 ounces of gold. You don't realize you just made 10 grand. That's the beauty of it. So you just keep watching it go, and it's just going to keep running because the dollar's worthless. You understand the key. This has no value. Why would I want to get into it? Gold is going to keep gaining because as people become more and aware of this has no value and they look around, the only option is gold and silver. So therefore the demand spikes the price. You just sit back and watch the price go up. You have no risk. You have no day. Look, they tried to bullshit it today and it dropped a little bit. Now it's on sale and it's cheap and people buy it. And that's what happens. There's too many buyers out there. So if they try to do the shit they tried to do today, it immediately gets bought back up once they realize, like silver, it went to 38, got chopped to 36. But once people realize, or 46, once people realize it's 46, they buy it. It's on sale and everybody runs and buys. So I don't know why they're shorting it. It's really stupid. They're still trying to manipulate the price. Good luck. You can't. There's too much demand to manipulate the price. All it is you put it on sale and more people buy it. So once everybody realizes silver is way, way undervalued, you just buy it. You buy as much as you can. You leave a little bit of cash out so you don't have to trade in your gold for money to pay a bill. So you keep, 5-10 grand out there to pay some bills, but not to sell the gold and silver. That's what I've done. And so I'm holding on as long as I can, and I'm watching the gold price go up and up and up, and I'm this much more closer to retirement. I figure at $100 silver and 5,000 gold, I'm retired. And I know it's going to happen. It's just, when will it happen? And it's there's no risk. It's easy. It's like taking football games that you already know the score of. I mean, it's the easiest thing. Anyway, what else? Vegas going out again. All that is you're marking you don't understand your market. You're selling it too high for your market. And then as the inflation hits, people have less money to buy things. So if anything, if you want to be in business, you lower your price because people just have less money to buy. I mean, it's as simple as that. Well, I had $100, but now my $100 isn't worth anything. So when I go to the grocery store, instead of spending 40, I'm spending 60. Oh, well, I have $20 less to spend on goods and services than I did before. And then I got to fill up my gas tank, which it's still holding the price. The gas price is ridiculously cheap with all the inflation. So it probably should be $10 a gallon. Now I'm in Michigan. It's still like $3 a gallon. I know California is higher, but it's all taxes. California is one of these states that's also trying to, we're going to tax the Silicon Valley millionaires and fuck everybody else, which is what they're trying to do. And as everybody leaves California, I mean, the people in charge, you cannot set your markets like, I don't know where everybody's getting this idea. Disney will just charge $150 to walk in the park. What do you want to have 5 people come in? I mean, what are you, crazy? And Caesar and Vegas and McDonald's with $15 Happy Meals. Who's your target? The millionaires who come to McDonald's? Is that your target? Are you out of your fucking minds? It's a family little restaurant. You're not getting millionaires who will pay $15 for a Happy Meal. So that shoots down that, and people will just go somewhere else. Don't act like there's no competition and no substitute goods. You can substitute. Steaks get too expensive. You buy chicken, you buy hamburger. You're fine. You don't have to sit there with yeah, if a steak gets to $25, I'll still buy it. Who's this stupid? No, you can't. You only have so much money, and that's the part that they don't understand. And they think, well, you'll just pay. Well, the price is getting expensive. Well, the Coca-Cola, $3.50 a 2-liter. Well, they'll just pay. No, they won't just pay. We'll go buy Squirt and Faygo and other brands, or we'll drink water or orange juice or something. We're not going to just keep spending. Or Oreos, we'll make $10 a pack. Well, nobody's going to fucking buy them. We'll buy Chips Ahoy. We'll go to the substitute. We'll eat graham crackers instead. Or, you're overpricing. Your market does not allow you to charge more than people are willing to bear. And this is the cardinal rule of most businesses. They don't fucking understand. For some reason, Vegas thinks they can charge all these extra costs and people will continue to come and pay. People don't have the money, nor do they have the desire to pay this extra shit. So they won't. And that's the bottom line. All right. So let's go Cleveland. We bet Cleveland over Detroit. Detroit choked. They got lucky to win the first game, and then they choked, and Cleveland won the second game. Detroit choked. And the manager's horrible. He pulls the pitchers, and he goes to the bullpen, and the bullpen pitchers suck. So why do you go to the bullpen like that's your answer? Well, he pitched 60 pitches or 100. Who gives a fuck? These guys should be able to throw 200 pitches, and if they can't, they shouldn't be in the league. Titus, steak for $25 is crazy. Well, exactly, Titus. And what do? I don't buy it. I buy hamburger or I buy chicken. I buy chicken at $2.50 a pound, and I'll buy a bunch of it. And then I mix it with honey and ginger and all my other stuff. I put my cayenne pepper and salt and garlic on it, and I mix it up, and it tastes great. Do I care if I'm eating chicken or steak? No. Every time I eat steak, my feet hurt anyway. But just don't buy it. And then the grocery store pays the meat regardless if you buy it or not. The butcher's not, well, geez, we couldn't sell this steak. It was coming back to you. No, you pay the butcher. So now if you want to charge $25 for a steak and we say no, guess what? It's going on sale. That's when you see sales, when people will not pay for it. So if you just are patient and don't buy it, let the price come down and then buy it when it's on sale. I had something for dinner last week or two. Steak was like $13 a pound. So then I bought a couple of them, but not at 20. I was there the other day and everything's 20 and I'm just laughing going, can I help you? No, you're over market. They don't understand it, but I'm saying the market is about $10, $12 for a steak, and you want to charge $20. You're over the market. There is no buyers at $20 for your steaks. It's just the way it is. You're too expensive. So you either understand that or they brought in these, I think, crab legs or something. I don't know what they are. I never eat them. And they were like $50 crab legs, and I just laughed. I said, "You'll never sell that." And then it was $40. It was finally down to $20 for the crab leg. And then they started selling them. I go, are you guys nuts? Trying to sell it for $50? Who has $50 for crab leg? You guys are insane. So, I mean, these companies just don't understand. And there's full of substitutions. You want to get the Meyer brand instead of Fruit Loops. I mean, that's what you eat. I mean, really, I'm okay because I'm eating a lot of veggies and fruits anyway. So I don't eat a lot of cookies and crackers and bullshit like that. So, broccoli and cauliflower, that's what I'm eating. So those really don't get hurt by the price goes up a little, but like my cauliflower is $3.99. I don't know what it was. I don't care. Okay, that's a reasonable price. I'm not substituting out of it. Now, if it went to $10, I'd be looking for the cheapest vegetable I can find, and that's what I'd be eating. But at this point, it's still reasonable, and off I go. But like I say, with the Coca-Cola at $3.50, $3.60 for a 2 liter, fuck off. I'm not paying that. It was $1.99. Oh, and inflation is 2%. In what world is inflation 2%? Inflation's about 1,000% because you count it from 1971. You don't count it year over year. You don't look at what it was last year and see if prices have gone up and say in a convoluted way, well, inflation's even. No, inflation's not even because you got to go back when a 2 liter was 99 cents and now it's 3.50. That's the inflation. It keeps going up. You can't look at it from where did this come from? Well, we'll just do last year. No, that's wrong. You can't do last year. So anyway, that's what ends up happening. And it's all wrong. And yes, that's what we do. We don't get more money. I don't get more money when I'm working. I don't, here's a raise because there's inflation. If anything, they want to pay you less because of the inflation. Their costs have gone up. So they don't want to give you $100,000. They want to give you 90. So how am I getting an increase in cost? But the costs go up. So I have less to spend. That's why we get into gold and silver, because that keeps track and keeps pace with the inflation. As the money's losing the value, the gold's going up, as we see. $47 silver now was 20. That's keeping pace with the inflation, and it's going to keep going up and up and up. That's why you don't sell it in profit take. Oh, I'm going to profit take my silver. I bought it at 20, it's 47. I'll do that, but when it hits 100, you're going to be pretty sorry you fucked up, right? Or gold. Well, I'll get rid of gold, it's 3,800. And when it hits 5,000, yeah. So that's the key to it. Titus. You're right, Professor. It's plenty of substitutions to choose from. Yeah, people just have to be smart enough. Like I say, this is a green shirt. I could buy a blue shirt. This happens to be a polo that I got cheap, but now they raised the price of polo. I got Nautica and Brooks Brothers and other. I don't need a polo player if he's going to be $100, but at $30, I might choose polo, over the others. But I'm not paying $100 for a fucking shirt. You got to be kidding me. So yeah, that's what you do. Substitute. And you don't really care what you eat half the time anyway. I mean, you might like a steak, but okay, you cook it and you eat it and it's done. So what do I do tomorrow? Right. So I buy the big pack of chicken breasts and I cut them up and I eat it for dinner for a week. That's what I'm doing now. I put it in my omelets. I put it on my salads, and I'm happy as hell. And once I cook it, now I can just nuke it up and off I go. So I think I'll have an omelet now. But that's all it is. It's just you're trying. It's a war. You're trying to spend as little as possible, and they're trying to get you to pay as much as possible. That's why you just don't go to. I went up to the lake instead of going to Vegas. I didn't have to dick around with the airlines trying to charge me to bring luggage. I could drive up on one tank of gas, get a nice hotel that wasn't too bad. I could eat. There's a Myers up there. I could even make my chicken and take it up there. There's a fridge and a microwave, and I can eat my meals up there. It hurts my stomach when I hack like that. And I can eat my meals very cheaply up there, and then sit on the lake and go to the pool and a hot tub and golf. Do all that instead of being frustrated in Vegas going, why is everything so fucking expensive? People don't want to spend. You have to realize Vegas was founded on the market of cheap food, free liquor, cheap gambling, cheap shows. You can see Tom Jones or Dean Martin or Frank Sinatra. There's probably a $25 ticket. And now who knows who's the entertainers, and then everything's so expensive. Well, wait, that's not what I go to Vegas for. Where's the free drinks? Where's the sports book that I get free drinks if I made a bet? You're not even doing that anymore. You want to charge me $20 for a beer because I bet on the football game. Fuck you. I think the only place is like you could get a Coke if you're playing poker. At least you could. I don't know if you still can, but when I go to MGM downtown here, I can play poker. They have like the vending machine or the fountain, and I can just get a Coke or a Pepsi or something out of the fountain, which wouldn't cost you anything. The alcohol drinks, they do charge you, but I don't drink alcohol. So that's where you're at. You've got to be, when Coke raises their price, you just ignore it. It'll go on sale, buy one, get one free. My dark chocolate shot up in price to $4.80 for a bar that I used to pay $2 for. I wait till it goes on sale. If it doesn't go on sale, I just don't have dark chocolate. It's not going to kill me. I have honey instead or whatever. And that's the thing. But it's usually on sale because they can't move dark chocolate for $4.80 a bar. I think the cocoa price shot up is what happened. Seems funny how everybody's getting into dark chocolate because it's healthy. And all of a sudden, they shoot the price of cocoa up. But that's what life is. It's about, same thing with a girlfriend. You get a girlfriend and she wants, buy this, buy me that, buy me this and that. And you're like, quit spending my money. I can spend my own money. I don't need you spending my money. And so that's, the girlfriend has to be justified into spending the money and or what she's spending it on. I always got frustrated with Carmen. She'd buy $20 drinks. I go, what the fuck you doing? Let's go to the store. I'll buy you a fucking bottle of vodka for $20 and you can have 20 drinks out of it. Oh no, I like to get the drinks at the restaurant. Well, you're paying for it at $20 a drink. Go fuck yourself. And that's what a relationship is. It's how they take, it's a trust issue. It's be careful about the budget, be understanding that, I'd say to Carmen, I don't have a money tree. This is all I have. And if you spend it all on drinks, I'll kill you because I can't replace it. So anyway, that's what a lot of it is. And, and at work, they're trying to cut you and I found that the best way is gold and silver because you don't have to rely on anybody. You know, it's going to go up and you're very little stress. And you just go from there. It's the safest and smartest thing you could ever do is just buy gold and silver as much as you can. It doesn't matter, 1/10 of an ounce, 1/4 of an ounce, just buy it. And silver, you're going to buy ounces. And don't worry, I got to go to the grocery store with silver. That's the stupidest comment I've ever heard. It's got nothing to do with taking your gold and silver to the grocery store. What is it with people? This is the only argument they can have. Well, I can't take my gold to the grocery store. Believe me, soon you will be taking your gold and silver to the grocery store because they won't be taking this because this doesn't have any value. And as long as they want to keep taking this, I'll keep giving it to them because it's not worth anything. So if I can get a $10 steak using this shit, fine. Thank you very much. It has no value. But I'm not giving you gold and silver now, but when we need it, then you'll have gold. And of course, either they're going to price things at the grocery store in silver, which would probably be what happens. It ain't going to be stable coin and Bitcoin. Nobody will take Bitcoin, first of all, because nobody knows what the value is and nobody wants it. Titus, this is why you are the professor. Touch base on everything. Yeah, Bobby likes that too. Well, I'm unique in the fact if I see something, I investigate it. I was just looking at my sinus and I went on our doctor channel And she really didn't give a good explanation other than just be healthy and drink a lot of water. And, I don't know. I tried fasting this out. Maybe I need to do a longer fast, but I'm kind of hungry. So it's hard. Um, but I really don't want to take an antibiotic, it kills everything. And yeah, you get over it, but your body needs to recover from what you just did. So I will say I'm kind of like not wanting to go to the doctor. I feel better. I'm not hacking as much. I think I'm getting better, but it's like gout. It takes a week. It's not like Monday and then Tuesday it's better. It takes a week to get out of your system. So we'll see. It's hard to sleep because I plug up. When I'm sitting, it's okay. If I'll go to the pool, and I'm fine. I have energy to go to the pool and hot tub, but it's mostly lying down. And I got real tired last night. I couldn't stay up for my movie. Anyway, football's posted. Very, very comfortable with the picks this week. Much care went into staying away from a Kansas-Cincinnati game. And if I did, I tried to go over with it and not get surprised that it's close. And again, the free pick Iowa State's just like that. It's an even game. I got Iowa State. They're a very good team. I doubt this will be a blowout. I mean, anything could happen, but I'd be shocked if Iowa State got killed, and that's it. So, and same with Buffalo, New England. They could lose to New England. I'd be shocked. At Buffalo, they're a very good team, and Drake May ain't beating me. So, again, we make the picks. We hope they win. They should win. They've been winning for the last 50 years, and I bet the same way I did in the 70s as I do today. I look for the Joe Montanas, and I bet them, and they win. And the losers I try to avoid or bet against. I mean, there's only so many ways you can pick it. So, I'm going to have bad weeks because the bets aren't going to go according to the way that we think they are. That's really the key. Like, I thought Kansas would beat Cincinnati, obviously, but it didn't happen. But that didn't mean it was a bad pick. Excuse me. So anyway, that's what's happening. So if you really so I try to understand everything. Why the gold price was 2,000. I tried to understand it. I learned it's comex. I learned it's paper. I learned it's bullshit. And we get into physical and we're gold. And you do that with everything. You try to figure it out and understand it. And it applies to everything, right? War, the governments, they're all paid off and it's all fixed. These guys are corrupt as shit. But if you understand it, you just laugh at it going, that's why people want to get in the government. They want the payout. Well, if I get elected, I'll get a million. And somebody has to pay to get me in. So somebody pays, I get elected. I do what they want. I get the $1 million from the lobbyists. And I don't even give a fuck what I'm doing because I'm just doing it for the money. I'm not serving the people, which is the whole point of government, is to serve the people. It's terrible. Anyway, I think that's about it. I'm getting tired. So have a good day. Free picks, Iowa State and Buffalo. I did play tonight's game in the NFL. I did play tomorrow night, one of the games. College, the weekends, everything's posted. I'll probably add one or two. And that's it. So stick with good quarterbacks. Stick with good defenses. Don't fuck with good defenses. So don't play a team playing a 15 defense because they're not a very good offense. You get fucked on the good defense. That's how you lose your bets. You take a team with a 15 defense, you bet against it, and then you wonder why you don't score. That's why we look for 30 defenses. If you play against the 30 defenses with a good quarterback, you'll probably win 80, 90% of the games, which is what I do. And that's why I'm 75%. And, you can look at a week or two and, oh, he did bad. Yeah, of course. I'm not, as much as I want to be like psychic, I'm kind of psychic, but you can't, it's a good bet. It just didn't win. And that's what you got to realize. So just have a little faith, baby. All right. I think that's about it. Let's see what our gold and silver, are they back where they were? Gold's creeping back up, 38.43. Silver, 46.52. Silver will be back over 47. So what's this whole thing at 10 o'clock? You drove it from 3,900 down to 38. You drove it down $80, but then now it's back up $25. What is this? What's the real price of gold? Yeah, bullshit. There's no real price of gold. It's 40,000. This is just bullshit. This is manipulation. This is pulling an option, shorting the option. Oh, but you got fucked because somebody shorted it at 38.30 and now it's 38.40. You're losing your short position. You still haven't learned? You're still playing shorts? What the fuck is wrong with you? This is the most demanded thing in the planet, gold and silver, and you're shorting it. What a fucking idiot this guy is, or whoever, JP Morgan, whoever, Jamie Dimon. So anyway, that's what's going on. So have a good day. I'm going to try to take a nap and then go to the pool later. And really, I'm not working out too hard, just enough to, although yesterday I did a normal workout and I felt in the pool, I feel fine. I'm not tired. When I get home, I get tired. And then I take a couple of hot tubs and, I don't know, but it's still, I feel like I'm getting better. So we'll see. Anyway, have a good day. www.teaserking.com. 2 locks going and about my normal 9 to 10 picks. All right. Have a good day, everybody. Take care.